Welcome to New Jersey Motorsports Park. There are two tracks here. The AMA is using, as you can see in big bold letters, Thunderbolt course. I think the other one's called Lightning, which I think is a Thunderbolt. But anyway, this is the course the AMA is using, so you can see the map has a lot of stuff on it. This is the interior paddock, and here's a timing and scoring tower. Here is the Officers Club, and these are the GP garages right along in here. These are the day garages right in here. We're shooting in one of the day garages. We're right down here on this end where we have this trusty map. Now, we interviewed Aaron Yates about what he does and where he goes, and we got secret GPS data from the data guy. So we know how fast he was going and where. So here we go. Obviously, we have the front straight here. Good braking zone going into turn one, obviously going to be one of the big passing opportunities. Terminal speeds. Going into turn one, he was doing 167 miles per hour. We believe in fifth gear. Downshifts into second gear. It's going to take this whole section. They don't use this little chicane. This little thing in green, I'm going to add some blue to it. They don't use that little monkey chicane. So this is turn one and turn two. So in turn one, his apex speed, 70 miles an hour at the apex. We believe in second gear. Most everybody on the super bikes is doing this whole section in second gear, okay? So, in between turns one and two, he's up to 100 miles an hour in there, in second gear. Turn two is pretty quick. Turn two, he's doing it 80 miles an hour at the apex. Okay? Now, there's this little gap here to this next chicane. This is actually turn three up here. They put in this little chicane because it's pretty darn fast and the barriers are pretty close. So the turn three chicane, it's like 3A and B and C or something, or 3A and 3B, I can't remember. Anyway, it's turn three chicane. In between two and the turn three chicane, we've got 110 miles an hour. And then on into the chicane, all through the chicane is roughly 70. So once he hits his apex speed of 70 in the first part of the chicane, it's pretty much 70 all going through there until he comes out the exit and onto this little miniature back straight, I guess you could call it. Right about here in this back straight is a wee little man-made hillock, little hilly thing that they put there that's almost a jump. And here's what Aaron Yates had to say about that. Yeah, the little hilly kind of thing on the back section, I heard you can almost bunny hop off that bad boy.
Oh, I can damn sure bunny hop off of it. I did it yesterday. I did it right in front of Blake on the cool-off lap there, you know, at the end of the session. Yeah, it's pretty good. You know, the way these bikes have got the tank and stuff, you can hook your knees in them and just kind of jerk it up. And yeah, I think I probably got a couple of feet off the ground, you know, went a little ways. It just depends on how hard you want to try, but you can bunny hop it for sure.
Blake Young was there for that, and in his interview, he mentioned that, yeah, Aaron Yates bunny hopped it right in front of him. In this area, apparently they're short shifting up a gear, the super bikes are. So this has all been second gear, so they grab third. Some guys are grabbing third just at the hill to help keep the front wheel down. Hodgson's dragging his rear brake to keep the front wheel down. Various and sundry techniques. But the top speed in this area is 130 before they brake for this turn. This is turn four. Turn four. Turn four, apex speed for Aaron Yates, 95 miles an hour. It's a pretty quick little turn, and then they come down into this lefty that's a little bit greater than or less than 90 degrees. You can see that. It's probably 75 maybe. One of the slowest corners on the track, probably the slowest corner on the track. Everybody liked it though. His apex speed was 60 miles an hour. 130 in here, that's a pretty good little straight, and of course it's not interrupted by a wee little hill. So it's nice and flat through there so they can get booking. That's a fast corner. A turn number 6. 90 miles an hour going through that turn at his apex speed. Now they come into this back section here, which, who was it? Somebody said it was kind of a rinky-dink section. Josh Herron was about the only guy that liked it. Everybody else just kind of muddles through it. So between 6 and 7 here, Mr. Yates is up to 120 miles an hour, top speed. Then he's braking for turn 7. His apex speed here is 65. Now, when I was getting the data from the data guy, the GPS makes a map for you, and you'll see this with all the new data loggers that are coming out that are GPS based. You can make yourself a track map, and then you can always have the perfect track map all the time. You can set up splits wherever you want to tell the GPS that you want to measure splits from. Then when you go back to that track, you can always replicate it and see where you're going. So Yates's map on his motorcycle does not look like this map. It resembles it like a twin that's not exactly identical. So in through this corner area, of course, they're diving here at the apex, pulling it out to the outside of the track. Then a lot of guys are trying to, from here, make as straight a line, stand up the bike and make as straight a line through here as they possibly can. It's a pretty tricky corner, and most of the guys were talking about it took them a while to get it out. Some said that they figured it out. Some said that they still hadn't by the end of the 2 days. They were still experimenting with things. So, according to this, at about this point in the track, Yates is at 120 miles an hour again in this chute that I was talking about after completing turn 7. At about his slowest point out here in this turn, which according to the map is turn 9, so this is turn 8. They're calling this turn 9 on my trusty map here. And he's at 55. That's the slowest turn on the track. Now this whole horseshoe looking thing, I asked him if this was going to be a good passing zone. There's a track in Nevada called Spring Mountain Motorsports Park in Pahrump, Nevada. And it has a set of turns. Turn 1 and turn 2 mirror each other almost. Turn 1 is a flip of this one, as you see here. But turn 2 at Pahrump looks just like that. And then turn 1 at Pahrump is flipped over the other way, and it goes like this. In Pahrump, this is a little passing zone right here, where if you can get enough drive out of that turn, you can beat somebody sleeping going into that turn. Some guys thought, yeah, it might be a good passing zone. Most people said no. So, he's at 55, cruising around this turn as well. From this angle here, I think we have a shot of him, and he drifts out a little bit right here at the top of the corner. So 55 here, 55 there. And then they go into these S's. Not really a chicane, a little too mild for a chicane maybe. S's more like. And from here to here, said the data man, so exiting turn 10, yep, that's what they call it. Then this is 11A, B, C, D through Z, along in through here. He's just building speed. From here until he gets under the bridge, about right he's under the bridge. This is the bridge. Infamous bridge. Gotta love those bridges. Gotta love bridge abutments. He's just building speed and headed for the front straightaway. So the speeds up and through here, when he hits turn 12, this is the last turn on the track, his knee down speed at the apex is 120 miles an hour, knee down, almost clean. A lot of the guys felt like if the barrier was moved out, if you don't know if you can see this red line, it represents the Armco barrier. If that was pushed back more, a lot of guys are saying they would feel more confident about pinning it through there. But like Hodgson said about that turn, that reminds me of why I'm motorbike racing. It's not motorcycles in Britain, it's motorbikes. This bridge abutment right here is a little bit frightening to the guys because, as you can see, you come out of this left and you're cranking on the throttle, and this building speed, as the data guy said, you come out of that left and you're drifting wide because you're on the power trying to come back and get set up, and you're headed right at the bridge abutment, right at it. Oh well, they felt like they needed to put a bridge in. So that's a lap around Thunderbolt course at New Jersey Motorsports Park with Mr. Aaron Yates.